Hello! Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited nga naman because we will proceed with our Lesson 3 discussion for understanding the self. So, this is Lesson 2.1. Why? Because this is in relation to the topic nga akong discuss about self, society, and culture. So, for today is we will discuss the self in psychological perspective. So, when you talk about psychology, it is the study of the mind. Okay? So, let's try to embrace the idea sa mga psychologists because we are done explaining self in philosophical perspective, katong lesson 1. Okay, so let's start with our lesson 3 discussion. So let's start with Carl Roger. So do you know Carl Roger? So let me give you a quick background about who is Carl Roger. So actually, he was a humanistic psychologist and ang iyang idea talks about the self-concept. Di ay unsa day ning self-concept. So according to him, ang self-concept daw is ang imong pagsabot. This is your perception and your belief about yourself. Mao ni ang imong pagsabot sa imong kaugalingon. That is your self-concept. And ingon sad siya nga ang tao kuno kita para daw mulambo ta, mugrow ta sa pagiging maayo nga tao o sa pagiging mas better nga tao is we need to have an environment. Dapat daw ang atong environment is nindot. Dapat daw ang atong environment makahatag siya acceptance. Dapat gidawat ta sa environment. Very open ang environment. Open for suggestion, open for anything, openness. And makahatag og empathy sa tua. So, according to him, mao daw na ang pinaka-importante for us to grow as a person. To become a good person. Dapat we have a good environment. So, naa daw tulo ka components of self-concept. So, unsaon nato nga natay nindot na self-concept. So, ingon siya, we need to understand the three components. So, we have the self-image. Unsa ng self-image? Ang imong pagtan-aw sa imong kaugalingon. That is your self-image. Unsa ang imong imahe sa imong kaugalingon? Unsa ang imong gipakita sa imong kaugalingon? The second is the self-esteem. The self-esteem is how much value you put to yourself. Pila man ang rate sa imong kaugalingon, sa imong pagtan-aw sa imong kaugalingon. That is self-esteem, ang imong pagsalig sa imong kaugalingon. So the third one is the ideal self. Unsa may gusto nimong maabot sa imong kaugalingon. That is the ideal self. Meaning from the word itself, idealistic. Unsa may imong pangandoy para sa imong kaugalingon. So according to him, kung kanidong tulo is working harmoniously, nindot daw ang imong self-concept sa imong kaugalingon. So when you talk about self-image, kung ang imo daw pagtan-aw sa imong kaugalingon, your self-image and your ideal self, kung ang imo daw self-image o ang imong gusto maabot sa imong kaugalingon is very close, meaning kung silang duha is related sa usag-usa, meaning taas po daw ang imuhang value sa imong kaugalingon. Kung nagkasinabot kuno ang imuhang self-image and o ang imong gusto makabot sa imong kaugalingon, nindot po daw ang imuhang pagtan-aw or ang imuhang value sa imong kaugalingon. So dapat magkahiusan ning tulo para naa kay nindot nga self-concept. Kaya kung nagkagubot ni, posible galibog sad ka unsay imong gustong buhaton sa imong kaugalingon. So that's the importance of having a good self-concept. So he also added that man, we are capable of achieving our goals. Ingon siya, ang tao, kaya man jud nato nga ma-achieve atong gusto, ang atong mga pangandoy, ang atong mga gusto sa kinabuhi. The only thing is, ang ato lang self-concept about ourselves is not that enough nga maka-convince ka sa imong kaugalingon nga kaya nimo. Because our self-concept makes us believe who we are. So mao na siya mo push nimo nga maningkamot kay kung taas kag pagsalig sa imong kaugalingon, maningkamot ka. Pero kung ubos kag pagsalig sa imong kaugalingon, maglisod na ka because in the first place, mismo ikaw wa kay salig sa imong kaugalingon. Okay? So that's the idea of Carl Roger. We can achieve our goals, our desires, our ambitions, if only we believe in ourselves. Okay, so that's all welcome Sigmund Freud. So if you know him, it's better, but let me give you a quick background about Sigmund Freud. Discusses, by the way, the idea of self-knowledge. So, kung naa na kay self-concept sa imong kaugalingon, naa na pud kay gitawag ana nga self-knowledge. So, self-knowledge is the beginning of self-improvement. So, Sigmund Freud, ingon siya, man, we have unconscious belief, motives, desires, intentions. Na ako no tay mga pangandoy, nga dili ta aware, nga ato na siyang pangandoy. Pero naa jud kuno ta. O di ba libog siya. So, ato explain ha. So, ingon siya, ang tao kuno, naa jud tay pangandoy. Naatay unconscious desire. Naatay gustong makabot. Then, ang ato daw self is, sige na siya pangandoy. So, we are thinking nga moabot ang panahon nga maging successful sad ta. We are thinking nga kung unsay sitwasyon nato karon, dapat mas maayo pa ta in the future. So for me, I think sakto siya. Naadyo tay mga pangandoy. Although dili pa nato makabuot karon, pero we are still longing and searching for it. We are still moving forward because we want to achieve something. Maningkamot ta. Naatay mga unconscious desire, naatay mga gusto, pero usahay tungo sa sitwasyon maglisod tagkabot, but we still have our dream, our wishful thinking. So our mind is a small portion of ourselves. Ang ato daw hunahuna is gamay ra kay na siya. So that's why kung dili nimo i-acquire ang self-knowledge, diha ra ka kutob. Because our mind is a small portion of ourselves. That's why we need to grow. Dapat mas mulambo ta. We need to build our self-knowledge. And the only way to build our self-knowledge is to get out from our comfort zone. So, unsaon pa get out? Yung makaingon ta, lisod, hadlok. Yes, that's true. Because there's no assurance. In life, there's no assurance. But according to Sigmund Freud, the best way for you to acquire more knowledge is to get out from your comfort zone. Do na stick kuno kung unsay naa nimo karon. If you really want to know yourself. And it's not easy. Di ba? Lisod kay na nga gusto ni Sigmund Freud. The self-knowledge is our understanding about our inner concept. Ang imuhang pagsabot sa imong kaugalingon nga ikaw ray nakasabot. That is your self-knowledge. So, ingon po si Sigmund Freud, kinahanglan jud ang self-knowledge sa tao. Why? Because the more you acquire knowledge, the better you can handle yourself. So the more kang kasabot sa imong kaugalingon, the more kang makakontrol sa imong kaugalingon kung unsay saktong buhaton. And the more kang nakasabot sa imong kaugalingon, the more kang makadawat nga usahay masayop ka. And dili na ka magsigigbasol sa imong kaugalingon or sa ubang tao because you know how to accept failures. We all commit mistakes, right? Nobody's perfect. We all commit mistakes. You are not ignorant about yourself. You know yourself. You know what you are doing. You know what is best for you. That is very important when you talk about having a good self-knowledge. So you are proactive. You are proactive. You are eager to learn despite naglisod ka. You are willing to embrace change despite kapoy na or naglisod na ka. That is being proactive. Wala na ka naghuwat, meaning ningliho ka because you know kung unsay maayong buhaton. That is being proactive. So sa karon nga sitwasyon, lisod pa man mo eskwela, but there are students who are really trying to go to school, although lisod, online, lisod, but they are being proactive. Okay, so you have positive thoughts despite na ay problema, maningkamot gihapon ka. You have positive thoughts, dili ka dali-dali ma-down because you always think the brighter side of the coin. So self-knowledge is the same as improving ourselves better. It helps us make wiser decision, dili ka dali maputong, dili ka dali mo give up, dili ka dali mo kapoy na, hustle na. So that's the idea of having or acquiring self-knowledge. Because according to Socrates, if you still remember him, ingon siya, the vital part of self-knowledge is to know what we don't know. Ang pinaka-importante kuno sa self-knowledge is makasabot ka sa mga butang nga wa nimo masabti. So that's the idea of Socrates. Grabe kalawom ilang panghuna-huna. So let's try to understand kung unsa pod maghuna-huna ang mga psychologists when you talk about understanding the self. So kung nindot na imong self-concept, nindot na pod imong self-knowledge, now this is the time to check your self-esteem. So let's talk about Abraham Maslow. So kinsa naman pod ni Abraham Maslow? Si Abraham Maslow, he developed the hierarchy of needs. Ingon siya, ang mga tao kuno, we are driven to achieve our needs. Maningkamot kuno ta para maabot ang atong mga gusto. Naatay mga gusto jud kuno. And kung maabot na nato ang atong mga gusto, malipayo na ta. Nalipay ta, labaw na if you are being accepted, labaw na kung nanakay the need of internal acceptance, kung unsay judgment, unsay pagtan-aw sa mga tao sa imong palibot sa imuha, posible pod makaapekto pod sa imuhang self-esteem. Self-esteem is putting value, putting importance sa imong kaugalingon. That is self-esteem. Usahay apektado ta sa unsay gipang istorya sa mga tao sa atong palibot. We are affected by external events and pressures. Labaw na kung natay butang nga dili mabuhat, we feel down. Okay? So ingon pa sila, hashtag it's okay not to be okay. So kalma lang. So if we want to achieve our own level of self-esteem, so there are certain components now to achieve our level of self-esteem. Number one is to build respect. Respeto. So dapat, nindot ko no ang self-esteem sa tao if you give sa tao og respect. If you know how to respect yourself and other people. Internal acceptance of who you are. Dapat dawat nimo kung unsa jud ka in order for you to be happy, to feel proud about yourself, your confidence, and your achievement. Di ba kung graduate na ka sa college, lipay kay ka, you feel proud about yourself because ning taas ang imuhang self-esteem, ning taas ang imong pagtan-aw sa imong kaugalingon. For me, that's good. So the need for internal acceptance is very important. Kaya kung gidawat ka sa mga tao sa imong palibot, it is a sort of social confirmation or external validation sa imong kaugalingon that you are being accepted. That's why nindot kayo ang feeling if accepted ka sa uban. Sakit pud kaayo if dili ka accepted sa ubang tao. Nganong sakit man? Because your self-esteem is affected. So na down ka, wala na ka naka-feel nga wala na nimo na feel ang sense of belongingness sa imong palibot. Okay, so having a good self-esteem helps you build or believe in yourself. So salig sa imong kaugalingon. So if ang tulo daw, if you have a good self-concept, self-knowledge, and self-esteem, you are now ready to face the world or to develop your social self. Ingon sila nga, it is affected by 3 cognitive components. So na ako na gitawag na social comparison, social categorization, and the last one is the social identity. So kung maingon tag social categorization is ang ato dang social self is kung unsay categorization nimo diri sa palibot, mao na ang ilang pagtan-aw sa imong kaugalingon. So if you belong, kung asa ka na belong, for example, nabilong ka sa mga bright. So man ay pagtan-aw sa mga tao sa imuha. Bright ka. Kung nabilong po ka sa mga gwapo, gwapo ka. Right? So, kung na kanang belong sad ka sa kaning nga grupo nga dancer ka. So that's how we categorize ourselves. And when you talk about categorization, normally, ato jud nang we do stereotyping. Atong itanan sila tanan. Atong i-define sila as a group. So that's how we categorize people. Social comparison. When we are being compared to another person, nindot siya. Kaya naman tayo gitawag na upward social comparison. But if you are compared to a person nga mas ubos pa nimo, that is the idea of downward social comparison. Being compared to another person, nindot siya kay kung i-compare kag mas labaw nimo, maningkamot pa ka. Ningon ka, someday I will be better than you. So man siya imong huna-huna. Murag mo lift ka, ma-energize ka, meaning maningkamot pa ka because iganahan ka nga mas mulabaw pa niya. So that's the positive side of being compared. The downward social comparison is this. When we are compared, usahay sa ubos nato, usahay di na ka maningkamot, kay mas labaw man kaniya. That is the idea of downward social comparison. So, for me, mas better i-compare ko sa mas taas nako because it keeps me motivated. It keeps me going on when you talk about social comparison. So, social comparison is good. Nindot siya nga feeling. Nindot po siya nga pagtanaw, especially if imong i-focus adto sa positive side of being compared to another person. Don't dwell on the negative side of social comparison. Okay? So, social identity, kung unsay pagtanaw nimo, example, if you are, parihan ako, if I am teaching, dapat ting-ani ko musturya. If dancer ko, dapat humo kog lawas. That's how we do social identity. Kung unsay barkada nimo, dapat ingana sad ka. That is your identification. So, makaingon ka nga, kana siya, teacher na siya. Nga naman. It's because the social identity is dapat naka-blazer, naka-formal. So, ingana na, how we classify, how we do social identity as part of having our own social self. Okay, so I hope that you get something sa karon nga discussion. This is my lesson 3 for understanding the self. This is the self and psychological perspective. I hope na mo'y nakuha ha, and you are learning from all my videos. So I'll see you again for my lesson 4. So to those who are new to my channel talks about the idea of psikolohiyang Bisaya. So Bisaya jud ko, but I will make it a point to transcribe all my videos to those nga dili kasabot og Bisaya. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for watching all my videos. I'll see you again for my lesson 4. Thank you. Bye.